Okay, so in this explainer, we're going to uncover a powerful secret to learning pretty much any skill, and you're not going to believe where we find it. Hidden in just 15 seconds of footage from a martial arts class.
So, have you ever just stopped and wondered how someone goes from being a total beginner to pulling off a really complex move just flawlessly? Is it just raw talent or maybe endless grinding practice? Well, it turns out the answer is actually a specific, repeatable method, and we're about to see it happen right in front of our eyes. And get this, our entire source for this whole breakdown is this one tiny moment. It's a coach and a student, and it's only the student's second day. It's not scripted, it's totally raw, and believe it or not, it contains the entire blueprint for how to learn effectively.
Okay, so the first step, defense. Every single complex skill, I don't care if it's martial arts or coding or playing an instrument, it always starts with mastering one super simple component.
So the coach kicks things off with the most basic defensive move. He says, the kick is coming here, you're obviously going to...
Just like that, yeah, yes.
The instruction couldn't be simpler. Block the kick that's coming at you. That's it. Nothing more. He's completely isolated one single building block.
And I want you to watch what happens the second the student does the action. The coach gives this immediate positive feedback. Now, this isn't just, a nice little attaboy. It's confirmation. It's literally telling the student's brain, yes, that's it. That's the correct foundation. Lock it in.
All right, now this is where it gets really interesting. See, the coach doesn't just move on after that little success. He refines it. This is where real mastery starts to happen, with these tiny, almost unnoticeable adjustments. And listen to the language he uses here. He doesn't say, you did it wrong. He says, let's make that even easier. I mean, that framing is just brilliant, right? It turns what could be a criticism into an upgrade. It makes the student totally open to the feedback instead of getting defensive. And what's so crucial here is how incredibly specific this little tweak is. The coach takes this vague idea of turning your body, and he transforms it into two precise commands. Just raise it like that, and to your elbow. It's simple, it's actionable, and it takes all the guesswork out of it. And the result of that one tiny, super specific correction, boom, immediate success. The student totally nails it, and the coach is right there again, reinforcing it with all this enthusiastic praise. This cycle of isolate, correct, and reinforce, man, it is so incredibly powerful. Okay, so you might be thinking, we've spent all this time on one simple defensive block, but here's the big reveal. That block, it was never the end goal. It was just the very first piece of a much, much larger and more complex puzzle. And here it is, the full sequence. That simple check that we've been obsessing over is suddenly dropped right into the middle of a 7-move combo. The student has to go from a kick to a hook, a cross, a knee, another kick, then do our check, and finish with one last kick. I mean, it looks intimidating, right? But because that one little piece is already mastered, the whole thing suddenly feels achievable.
And now we get to the final moment. It's time to put it all together. This is the synthesis, right? This is where the coach asks the student to chain all those little mastered components into one single fluid sequence.
And there it is. The student executes the whole combo, and the coach's final words, they signal that the learning loop is officially complete. He went from one isolated block to a full flowing combination, and it all happened in a matter of seconds. Now that is effective teaching, and that is effective learning. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? This wasn't just a Muay Thai lesson. Not at all. It was a perfect demonstration of a universal learning principle that you can apply to absolutely anything you want to learn.
We're calling it the building block method. Really, it's just the art of deconstruction. You take a big, scary, complex skill, and you break it down into the smallest possible, most manageable pieces. You master each little piece, one by one, and only then do you start chaining them together. It all comes down to this 4-step process that we just watched happen. First, you isolate one simple component. Second, you provide tiny, specific corrections. Third, you reinforce every success with immediate, positive feedback. And finally, you chain that mastered block into the larger sequence. And that just leaves us with a final thought. Think about something that you want to learn. Maybe it's a new language or a musical instrument, maybe some complex software at work. How can you apply this method? What is the very first, smallest building block that you can go out and master today?